Welcome, dear listener, to this audiobook summary of The Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill, a timeless guide to unlocking personal success, wealth, and fulfillment. Published in 1945, this book distills Hill's decades of research into the principles of achievement, building on his earlier works like Think and Grow Rich. Over the next 60 minutes, we'll take a deep dive into the philosophy, principles, and practical steps Hill outlines for attaining riches. Not just financial wealth, but a life rich in purpose, health, and happiness. So, settle in, open your mind, and let's embark on this journey to discover the master key to a life of abundance. Napoleon Hill begins The Master Key to Riches with a bold premise. Success is not a matter of luck or chance, but a science governed by universal laws. These laws, when understood and applied, enable anyone to achieve their deepest desires. Hill's philosophy is rooted in his study of over 500 successful individuals, including titans like Andrew Carnegie, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison. Through their stories, he identified a common thread, a set of principles that form the master key to riches. But what exactly are these riches? Hill is clear. True wealth encompasses financial prosperity, mental clarity, spiritual peace, and meaningful relationships. The book is both a philosophical treatise and a practical roadmap, offering 12 steps to riches and a mindset shift that transforms dreams into reality. Let's start with the foundation of Hill's philosophy, the concept of definiteness of purpose. Hill argues that all achievement begins with a clear, burning desire for a specific goal. Without a definite purpose, individuals drift aimlessly, like ships without a rudder. He recounts the story of Edwin C. Barnes, who arrived at Thomas Edison's office with nothing but an unwavering desire to become Edison's business partner. Barnes had no money, no credentials, only a singular focus. Over time, his persistence and clarity of purpose led him to achieve his goal, proving that a definite purpose, backed by faith and action, can move mountains. Hill challenges readers to ask themselves, what is my purpose? What do I want most in life? This question is the starting point of all success. Principle number 1. Napoleon Hill begins The Master Key to Riches with a powerful assertion. Success is not a matter of luck or chance. It's a science governed by universal laws. At the heart of this science lies definiteness of purpose, the starting point of all great accomplishments. Hill argues that without a clear, specific goal, individuals drift through life like ships without a compass, vulnerable to the whims of circumstance. A definite purpose is more than a vague wish or fleeting desire. It's a precise, unwavering commitment to a singular objective, fueled by passion and backed by action. But what does definiteness of purpose look like in practice? Hill describes it as a burning obsession, a goal so vivid that it consumes your thoughts, shapes your decisions, and propels you forward despite obstacles. It's the difference between saying, I want to be successful, and declaring, I will build a thriving bakery that serves my community by the end of next year. The former is a hope, the latter is a purpose. Hill emphasizes that this clarity of vision activates the subconscious mind, aligning your thoughts, habits, and actions toward a single target. To illustrate, Hill shares the story of Edwin C. Barnes, a man with no money, no connections, and no formal education, but an unshakable purpose: to become the business partner of Thomas Edison, the world's greatest inventor. Barnes didn't just admire Edison from afar. He fixated on his goal with laser-like focus. He scraped together enough money for a train ticket to Edison's office, arriving with nothing but determination. At first, he took a low-level job, but his purpose never wavered. Over time, his persistence and clarity of vision earned Edison's trust, leading to a partnership that made Barnes a fortune through the sale of the Edison dictating machine. Barnes' story shows that definiteness of purpose can overcome seemingly insurmountable barriers, turning a dream into reality through relentless focus. Let's consider a modern example. Meet Sarah, a single mother working as a receptionist in 2015. Sarah loved baking and dreamed of owning a cupcake shop, but her circumstances, limited funds, long hours, and parenting responsibilities made it seem impossible. One evening, inspired by a documentary on entrepreneurs, she decided to define her purpose: to open a cupcake shop in her town within 2 years, specializing in unique, locally sourced flavors. She wrote her goal on a piece of paper, taped it to her mirror, and read it every morning. This definiteness of purpose guided her actions. She saved a portion of her paycheck, took a weekend baking course, and researched suppliers at night. When setbacks arose, like a broken oven or a rejected loan, her clear goal kept her motivated. By 2017, Sarah's shop, Sweet Haven Cupcakes, was a local hit, proving that a specific purpose, paired with action, can transform even the humblest beginnings. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate definiteness of purpose. First, he advises readers to identify their deepest desire, what they want most in life. This requires introspection and honesty. Are you driven to start a business, write a novel, or improve your health? The goal must be personal and meaningful, not dictated by others' expectations. Hill suggests writing the goal in a clear, concise statement, such as, I will earn $100,000 annually by launching a sustainable clothing brand by December 2026. This statement should include a deadline to create urgency and a measurable outcome to track progress. Second, Hill emphasizes visualizing the goal as already achieved. Close your eyes and imagine the sights, sounds, and feelings of success. For Sarah, this meant picturing customers lining up at her shop, the smell of fresh cupcakes, and the pride of seeing her logo on the storefront. Visualization programs the subconscious mind, making the goal feel attainable and guiding your decisions toward it. Hill recommends practicing this daily, ideally before bed, to embed the purpose deeply within you. Third, create a plan to achieve the goal. Hill stresses that a purpose without a plan is like a map without a destination. Break the goal into smaller, actionable steps. For example, Sarah's plan included saving $200 monthly, enrolling in a baking course, and networking with local business owners. Hill advises reviewing and adjusting the plan regularly, staying flexible while keeping the ultimate purpose fixed. Another compelling example comes from history, Oprah Winfrey. In her early years, Oprah faced poverty, abuse, and discrimination, yet she harbored a definite purpose: to use media to inspire and connect people. As a young radio host in Nashville, she didn't just aim to be on TV. She envisioned creating a platform that uplifted millions. This clarity guided her through rejections and setbacks. When offered a co-hosting role on a struggling Chicago talk show, she saw it as a step toward her purpose. Her focus and persistence transformed the Oprah Winfrey Show into a global phenomenon, proving that a definite purpose can reshape not just one life, but countless others. Hill also warns of the enemies of definiteness of purpose: indecision, fear, and procrastination. These forces cause drift, pulling you away from your goal. He tells of a man who dreamed of becoming a lawyer but never committed to a specific plan. Years passed, and he remained stuck in a dead-end job, regretting his indecision. Hill's antidote is to act decisively, even if the first step is small. For example, if your purpose is to become a published author, start by writing 500 words daily. Action builds momentum, reinforcing your commitment. Hill ties definiteness of purpose to the broader concept of faith, belief in yourself, and the universal laws of success. He argues that a clear purpose, when held with unwavering faith, attracts opportunities, resources, and people to support it. This is where the mastermind principle, which we'll explore later, comes into play. By sharing your purpose with a supportive group, you amplify its power. Sarah, for instance, joined a local entrepreneurs network, where mentors and peers helped refine her business plan and connected her with suppliers. Let's look at one more example. Daniel, a high school teacher in 2020, felt unfulfilled despite his stable job. Inspired by Hill's work, he defined his purpose: to launch an online tutoring platform for underprivileged students by 2022. He wrote his goal, visualized its impact, and created a plan, learning coding basics, designing a website, and partnering with nonprofits. When the pandemic hit, Daniel faced doubts, but his purpose kept him focused. By 2022, his platform, LearnBright, was serving hundreds of students, funded by grants he secured through his mastermind network. Daniel's story echoes Hill's teaching: a definite purpose, backed by faith and action, creates a ripple effect of success. Principle number 2. The mastermind principle is the cornerstone of this collaboration. Hill defines a mastermind as a coordination of knowledge and effort in a spirit of harmony between two or more people for the attainment of a definite purpose. This isn't just a casual partnership. It's a deliberate alliance of individuals who share a common goal, pooling their skills, insights, and energy to create a synergy where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Hill's research, drawn from studying titans like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, revealed that every great achievement involves such a group, amplifying individual potential through collective power. The mastermind operates on the principle that human minds, when aligned in harmony, generate a creative force that transcends what any one person could achieve alone. Hill likens it to a battery. Each member's contribution charges the group's collective energy, sparking innovation and overcoming obstacles. But harmony is key. Conflicts or misaligned intentions can disrupt the flow, like a short circuit. The mastermind requires trust, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to a definite purpose, building on the first principle we explored earlier. Hill illustrates the mastermind with the story of Henry Ford, a man whose limited formal education belied his extraordinary success. Ford's genius lay not in technical expertise, but in his ability to assemble a mastermind group of brilliant engineers, financiers, and advisors. When developing the Model T, Ford faced skepticism about creating an affordable car for the masses. He relied on his team, experts like Charles Sorensen and Thomas Edison, to refine designs, streamline production, and innovate manufacturing processes. Their collective expertise, united by Ford's vision, revolutionized the automotive industry, making Ford a household name. This example shows how a mastermind can compensate for individual weaknesses, turning a bold vision into reality through shared effort. Let's consider a modern example. Lisa, a tech entrepreneur in 2018, dreamed of launching a sustainable energy startup. With a background in marketing but little technical knowledge, she knew she couldn't succeed alone. Inspired by Hill's teachings, Lisa formed a mastermind group, recruiting a renewable energy engineer, a financial analyst, and a supply chain expert. They met weekly, sharing a clear purpose: to develop affordable solar solutions for rural communities by 2020. Each member brought unique strengths: engineering designs, funding strategies, and logistics plans, while Lisa's vision and enthusiasm kept the group aligned. Despite early challenges, like securing investors, their collective problem-solving led to a breakthrough: a low-cost solar panel prototype. By 2020, their startup, Sunrise Solutions, was powering villages, proving the mastermind's ability to transform a solo dream into a collective triumph. Hill provides practical steps to form a mastermind. First, identify your definite purpose, as it will guide the group's focus. Ask, what specific goal am I working toward? For Lisa, it was sustainable energy access. For you, it might be launching a business, writing a book, or advancing a career. Second, select members carefully. Choose individuals who share your vision, bring complementary skills, and demonstrate reliability. Hill emphasizes quality over quantity. A small, harmonious group is more effective than a large, discordant one. Third, establish regular meetings to share ideas, set milestones, and maintain accountability. These gatherings should be structured yet open, fostering creativity and mutual support. Finally, cultivate harmony through clear communication, respect, and a commitment to the group's success over individual egos. Hill also highlights the importance of diversity in a mastermind. Members should offer different perspectives and expertise, creating a well-rounded team. He warns against surrounding yourself with yes-men who merely echo your ideas. Instead, seek constructive debate and challenge, as these spark innovation. Hill shares the example of Andrew Carnegie, whose mastermind included metallurgists, managers, and financiers. Their varied viewpoints helped Carnegie streamline steel production, outpacing competitors and building an empire. This diversity, united by a shared purpose, was key to his success. Another inspiring example comes from the world of entertainment, the creation of Pixar animation studios. In the 1980s, Steve Jobs, Ed Catmull, and John Lasseter formed a mastermind to revolutionize animation. Jobs provided financial backing and vision. Catmull brought technical expertise in computer graphics, and Lasseter contributed storytelling genius. United by a purpose to create groundbreaking animated films, they faced daunting challenges, including financial losses and skepticism about computer animation. Their weekly brainstorming sessions, rooted in trust and creative freedom, led to Toy Story in 1995, a film that redefined the industry. Pixar's success, from Finding Nemo to Inside Out, stems from this mastermind, showing how diverse talents, aligned in harmony, can achieve the extraordinary. Hill also addresses potential pitfalls. A mastermind can falter if members lack commitment or if conflicts arise. He advises resolving disputes quickly through open dialogue and, if necessary, replacing members who disrupt harmony. Hill tells of a business partnership that collapsed when one member prioritized personal gain over the group's goal. The lesson? A mastermind thrives on mutual benefit and shared sacrifice. For Lisa's startup, maintaining harmony meant addressing tensions over funding decisions early, ensuring the group stayed focused on their mission. The mastermind's power extends beyond tangible outcomes. It also fosters personal growth. Hill believes that associating with driven, positive individuals elevates your mindset, reinforcing the positive mental attitude central to success. He cites the example of a young salesman who joined a mastermind of top performers. Their encouragement and shared strategies transformed him from average to exceptional, doubling his sales within a year. This principle resonates today. Surrounding yourself with people who inspire and challenge you accelerates your journey to riches, whether financial, personal, or spiritual. Let's look at one more example. Jamal, a teacher in 2021, wanted to create an online learning platform for underserved students. Lacking coding skills and funding, he formed a mastermind with a web developer, a grant writer, and a community organizer, all united by a purpose to bridge educational gaps. Their bi-weekly Zoom meetings sparked ideas, from crowdfunding campaigns to user-friendly designs. When a grant application was rejected, the group's collective optimism and problem-solving led to a successful pivot, partnering with local nonprofits. By 2023, Jamal's platform, EDU Access, was serving thousands, a testament to the mastermind's ability to turn vision into impact. Principle number 3. The third principle, applied faith, is the engine that drives these principles forward. Hill defines applied faith as a state of mind, an active, unwavering belief in your definite purpose, yourself, and the universal laws of achievement. Unlike passive hope or blind faith, applied faith is practical and action-oriented. It's the confidence to move forward despite uncertainty, the conviction that your goal is attainable, and the courage to act on that belief. Hill emphasizes that faith is not just spiritual, but a psychological tool that reprograms the subconscious mind, aligning your thoughts and actions with success. Applied faith builds on the first two principles, definiteness of purpose and the mastermind. A clear goal gives faith direction, while a supportive mastermind group reinforces it. Hill argues that faith is cultivated through deliberate practices like auto-suggestion, repeating affirmations, and visualizing goals as already achieved. This process transforms doubt into certainty, turning obstacles into stepping stones. As Hill studied giants like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison, he found that their success stemmed not from luck, but from an unshakable belief in their vision, paired with persistent action. Hill illustrates applied faith with the story of a young man born into poverty, with no formal education or resources. This man dreamed of becoming a successful businessman, a goal that seemed impossible given his circumstances. Each night, he visualized himself running a thriving company, shaking hands with clients, and signing contracts. He affirmed to himself, "I am a successful entrepreneur, and my business prospers." This practice of applied faith fueled his courage to take small steps, saving money, learning from books, and networking with local merchants. Over years, his belief attracted opportunities, including a mentor who guided him. Eventually, he built a flourishing retail business, proving that applied faith, backed by action, can defy the odds. Let's consider a modern example. Maria, a graphic designer in 2019, aspired to launch her own design studio, but faced self-doubt in a saturated market. Inspired by Hill's teachings, she embraced applied faith. She defined her purpose, to create a studio specializing in eco-friendly branding by 2021, and began visualizing her success daily, imagining client meetings, and a vibrant portfolio. Maria repeated affirmations like, "My studio thrives, and I attract clients who value sustainability." This faith spurred her to act. She enrolled in a business course, joined a mastermind group of entrepreneurs, and pitched to small businesses. When rejections came, her belief kept her focused. By 2021, her studio, Green Vibe Designs, was serving eco-conscious brands, a testament to how applied faith turns vision into reality. Hill outlines practical steps to cultivate applied faith. First, clarify your definite purpose, as faith without a specific goal is aimless. Write your goal in a clear statement, such as, "I will publish a novel by June 2026. Second, use auto-suggestion to embed this goal in your subconscious. Create a positive affirmation, like, "I am a published author, and my book inspires thousands." Repeat it daily, ideally in a quiet moment, and pair it with visualization. Picture yourself holding your book or signing copies at a launch. Third, act on your faith. Hill stresses that faith without action is dead. Take one step toward your goal, no matter how small, like writing a page or researching publishers. These actions reinforce your belief, creating a cycle of progress. Hill also emphasizes the role of gratitude in applied faith. By focusing on what you're thankful for, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance, strengthening your belief in future success. He shares the example of a struggling inventor who faced repeated failures. Instead of despairing, the inventor practiced gratitude for his health, family, and past lessons. This positive focus renewed his faith, leading to a breakthrough invention that revolutionized his field. Gratitude, Hill says, is a magnet for opportunities, aligning you with the universal flow of abundance. Another powerful example is Nelson Mandela, whose applied faith sustained him through 27 years of imprisonment. Mandela held a clear purpose: to dismantle apartheid and create a free South Africa. Despite confinement, he visualized a united nation, affirming to himself that his cause would prevail. He acted on this faith by studying law, mentoring fellow prisoners, and maintaining dialogue with guards, planting seeds for reconciliation. His unwavering belief attracted global support, and upon release, he led South Africa to democracy. Mandela's story shows that applied faith can endure even the darkest trials, turning a distant dream into a world-changing reality. Hill warns of faith's enemies: fear, doubt, and negative thinking. These can erode belief, stalling progress. He tells of a woman who dreamed of becoming a doctor but let fear of failure stop her from applying to medical school. Years later, she regretted her inaction. Hill's antidote is to replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations and surround yourself with a mastermind group that uplifts your faith. For Maria, her mastermind group provided encouragement when self-doubt crept in, reminding her of her purpose and potential. Applied faith also leverages the principle of attraction. What you believe and focus on, you draw into your life. Hill believes that faith sends a signal to the universe, aligning circumstances, people, and resources with your goal. Consider Jamal, a teacher in 2022, who wanted to start a nonprofit for youth mentorship. Lacking funds, he applied faith by visualizing a thriving program and affirming, "I am empowering youth through mentorship." He acted by drafting a proposal and sharing it with his mastermind group, which included a grant writer and a community leader. His faith attracted a donor who funded the program's launch. By 2024, Jamal's nonprofit, Youth Rise, was transforming lives, showing how faith, paired with action, manifests opportunities. Hill ties applied faith to the subconscious mind, which he sees as a bridge to infinite intelligence, the universal source of wisdom and possibility. By feeding the subconscious with positive beliefs, you tap into this reservoir, gaining insights and intuition that guide your path. Hill's message is empowering. Applied faith is a skill anyone can develop, regardless of background, turning the impossible into the inevitable. Principle number 4. The fourth principle, going the extra mile, is a cornerstone of this philosophy. Hill defines it as rendering more and better service than is required, with a positive mental attitude, expecting no immediate reward. This isn't about working harder for less. It's a strategic choice to stand out, create value, and sow seeds for future opportunities. Hill's research, drawn from studying luminaries like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford, revealed that those who consistently exceed expectations attract success like a magnet, building reputations that open doors. Going the extra mile builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, and applied faith. A clear goal gives direction, a supportive group amplifies effort, and faith sustains commitment. But going the extra mile is the action that sets you apart. Hill emphasizes that this principle operates on the law of increasing returns. The value you give comes back multiplied, often in unexpected ways. It's about delighting others, whether customers, colleagues, or communities, with effort that surpasses the ordinary. Hill illustrates this principle with the story of a young clerk in a retail store during the early 1900s. Tasked with basic duties, the clerk chose to go beyond. He stayed late to organize inventory, offered personalized suggestions to customers, and studied the store's products to better serve them. His manager noticed this dedication and promoted him to assistant manager, a role that launched a career in retail leadership. The clerk's habit of doing more than expected didn't just earn a promotion. It built his confidence and reputation, proving that going the extra mile creates a ripple effect of opportunity. Let's consider a modern example. Priya, a freelance web developer in 2020, struggled to stand out in a competitive market. Inspired by Hill's teachings, she decided to go the extra mile for her clients. For a small business owner who hired her to build a basic website, Priya not only delivered the site on time, but also included a free user guide, SEO tips, and a follow-up call to ensure satisfaction. She didn't charge extra, trusting that her effort would pay off. The client, thrilled by the added value, referred Priya to 3 other businesses. Within a year, her client base tripled, and her reputation for exceptional service made her a go-to developer. Priya's story shows how going the extra mile builds trust and opens doors to abundance. Hill provides practical steps to apply this principle. First, adopt a positive mental attitude. Approach every task with enthusiasm and a desire to serve, as negativity undermines the spirit of going the extra mile. Second, identify opportunities to add value. Ask, how can I exceed expectations today? For Priya, it was offering free resources. For you, it might be staying late to perfect a project or helping a colleague with a task. Third, act without expecting immediate reward. Hill stresses that the benefits, promotions, referrals, or personal growth, come in time, often from unexpected sources. Finally, make going the extra mile a habit. Consistency turns this principle into a way of life, shaping your character and destiny. Hill also highlights the personal benefits of this principle. Going the extra mile fosters self-discipline, initiative, and creativity, qualities that enhance all areas of life. He shares the example of a teacher who, instead of assigning rote homework, created engaging after-school projects tailored to her students' interests. Her extra effort not only improved their grades, but also earned her a district-wide teaching award, boosting her career. This story underscores that going the extra mile enriches both the giver and the receiver, creating a cycle of growth and goodwill. Another inspiring example is Satya Nadella, who transformed Microsoft as CEO by embracing this principle. When Nadella took over in 2014, Microsoft was losing ground to competitors. Instead of focusing solely on profits, he went the extra mile to rebuild the company's culture and innovation. He encouraged employees to collaborate across divisions, invested in cloud computing beyond immediate returns, and partnered with rivals like Apple to enhance customer experience. His extra efforts, listening to employees, prioritizing long-term vision, and fostering inclusivity, revitalized Microsoft, making it a trillion-dollar company by 2019. Nadella's leadership shows how going the extra mile at scale can reshape an organization and an industry. Hill warns against the temptation to do the minimum, which he calls getting by. He tells of a salesman who met his quotas but never exceeded them, missing out on promotions because he lacked distinction. Hill's antidote is to treat every task as an opportunity to shine, no matter how small. For Priya, this meant treating a $500 project with the same care as a $5,000 one. For Nadella, it meant approaching every decision with a commitment to excellence. This mindset, Hill says, aligns you with the law of compensation, ensuring your efforts are rewarded. Going the extra mile also ties to the mastermind principle, as your efforts inspire others in your group. Hill believes that exceptional service creates a network of goodwill, attracting allies who support your goals. Consider Aisha, a barista in 2022, who dreamed of opening her own cafe. She went the extra mile at her coffee shop job, memorizing customers' orders, suggesting new drinks, and decorating the space for holidays. Her manager, part of her informal mastermind, recommended her for a small business grant, and customers became her first cafe patrons. By 2024, Aisha's cafe, Brewjoy, was thriving, built on the goodwill she cultivated. Aisha's story echoes Hill's teaching. Extra effort builds relationships that fuel success. Hill connects this principle to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. By making going the extra mile a daily practice, you program your mind for excellence, attracting opportunities like a magnet. He emphasizes that this principle applies to all fields: business, education, art, or personal relationships, making it a universal key to riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. Principle number 5. The fifth principle, personal initiative, is the catalyst that transforms vision into achievement. Hill defines it as the power to start and complete tasks without external prompting, to seize opportunities, and to overcome procrastination. It's the willingness to take the first step, even when the path is unclear, and the persistence to keep moving forward. Hill's studies of luminaries like Thomas Edison and Andrew Carnegie revealed that their success stemmed from a proactive mindset, acting decisively where others hesitated. Personal initiative builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, and going the extra mile. A clear goal provides direction, a supportive group amplifies effort, faith sustains belief, and extra effort sets you apart. But personal initiative is the engine that drives action. Hill emphasizes that initiative is a choice, not a talent. It's about starting where you stand, using available resources, and trusting that each step reveals the next. In a world of distractions and excuses, personal initiative is the antidote to drift, aligning you with the universal law of cause and effect. Hill illustrates personal initiative with the story of a woman who lost her job during an economic downturn. Instead of waiting for another opportunity, she took initiative, turning her passion for baking into a small business. From her kitchen, she started selling homemade cookies to neighbors, using a handwritten flyer to advertise. She reinvested her earnings to buy supplies, learned basic marketing, and approached local cafes to carry her products. Within a year, her cottage business grew into a thriving bakery, all because she acted without waiting for permission or perfect conditions. Her story shows that personal initiative turns adversity into opportunity through decisive action. Let's consider a modern example. Carlos, a warehouse worker in 2021, dreamed of becoming a software developer but lacked formal training. Inspired by Hill's teachings, he embraced personal initiative. He defined his purpose: to land a coding job by 2023, and took immediate action, enrolling in a free online coding bootcamp after work. When he struggled with complex concepts, he sought help from online forums, forming an informal mastermind with fellow learners. Carlos built a portfolio of small projects, applied to dozens of jobs, and persisted through rejections. By 2023, he secured a junior developer role at a tech startup, proving that initiative, paired with persistence, can bridge any gap. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate personal initiative. First, clarify your definite purpose, as it fuels the motivation to act. Write your goal, such as, I will launch a podcast by July 2026. Second, break the goal into immediate, actionable steps. Ask, what can I do today? For Carlos, it was signing up for a course. For you, it might be recording a pilot episode or researching equipment. Third, overcome fear and indecision by acting quickly, even imperfectly. Hill stresses that starting small builds momentum. Fourth, review your progress regularly, adjusting your plan but never abandoning your purpose. Finally, surround yourself with a mastermind group that encourages action, as their energy reinforces your drive. Hill also highlights the dangers of procrastination, the enemy of initiative. He shares the example of a man who dreamed of starting a business but delayed, citing a lack of funds or time. Years passed, and his dream faded, leaving regret. Hill's antidote is to adopt a do-it-now mindset. For Carlos, this meant coding for an hour each night, even when tired. Hill believes that small, consistent actions compound, creating exponential progress over time, a concept he ties to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. Another powerful example is Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. In the late 1990s, Blakely, a door-to-door salesperson, had an idea for a new type of shapewear, but no experience in fashion or manufacturing. Driven by personal initiative, she took action, researching patents, sketching designs, and cold-calling manufacturers, all while working her day job. When factories rejected her, she persisted, driving hours to meet owners in person. Her initiative led to a prototype, and she pitched it to retailers like Neiman Marcus, securing a deal that launched Spanx. By 2012, Blakely was a billionaire, showing how initiative turns a spark of an idea into a global empire. Hill warns that initiative requires courage, as action invites criticism or failure. He tells of an aspiring writer who hesitated to submit manuscripts, fearing rejection. After embracing initiative, she sent her work to publishers, enduring rejections but eventually landing a book deal. Hill's lesson is clear. Initiative means acting despite fear, trusting that effort will refine your path. For Blakely, it was pitching to skeptical buyers. For Carlos, it was applying to jobs despite limited experience. Initiative transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Personal initiative also synergizes with the mastermind principle, as proactive individuals inspire their group. Hill believes that taking action attracts like-minded allies who share your drive. Consider Lynn, a nurse in 2022, who wanted to start a community health program. She took initiative, drafting a proposal and presenting it to her hospital's board. Her mastermind group, a doctor, a social worker, and a fundraiser, rallied around her, offering expertise and connections. When funding stalled, Lynn's proactive outreach to local businesses secured grants. By 2024, her program, HealthBridge, was serving hundreds, showing how initiative galvanizes collective support. Hill connects personal initiative to self-reliance, arguing that waiting for others to act limits your potential. He encourages readers to see themselves as the architects of their destiny, using initiative to shape their circumstances. This principle applies to all areas: career, relationships, or personal growth, making it a universal key to riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. Principle number 6. The sixth principle, self-discipline, is the foundation that ensures these principles endure. Hill defines self-discipline as the ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions, directing them toward your definite purpose with unwavering focus. It's about saying no to distractions, managing impulses, and building habits that align with your goals. Hill's studies of icons like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison revealed that their achievements stemmed from disciplined minds and routines, enabling them to persist where others faltered. Self-discipline builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, and personal initiative. A clear goal provides direction. A supportive group amplifies effort. Faith sustains belief. Extra effort distinguishes you. And initiative sparks action, but self-discipline ensures consistency. Hill calls it the balancing wheel of success, regulating your behavior to stay on course. Without it, even the best intentions dissolve into procrastination or impulsiveness. Self-discipline, he argues, is the price of freedom from regret, mediocrity, and unfulfilled potential. Hill illustrates self-discipline with the story of a salesman who struggled to meet quotas due to disorganized habits and negative thinking. Determined to change, he embraced self-discipline, creating a daily schedule, budgeting his time, and replacing complaints with gratitude. He practiced controlling his emotions, staying calm during rejections, and committed to studying his product each evening. Within months, his sales doubled, and he earned a promotion to regional manager. His disciplined habits transformed not just his career, but his confidence, proving that self-discipline reshapes destiny through consistent effort. Let's consider a modern example. Elena, a single mother and part-time barista in 2020, dreamed of becoming a certified yoga instructor. With a hectic schedule and limited funds, her goal seemed distant. Inspired by Hill's teachings, Elena applied self-discipline. She created a strict routine, waking at 5 a.m. to practice yoga and study for her certification, even when exhausted. She budgeted her income to save for the course, resisting impulse purchases, and used affirmations to silence self-doubt. When distractions arose, like social outings, she prioritized her purpose. By 2022, Elena earned her certification and opened a small yoga studio, showing how self-discipline turns dreams into reality through focused effort. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate self-discipline. First, align your actions with your definite purpose. Write your goal, such as, I will run a marathon by October 2026, and let it guide your daily choices. Second, master your thoughts. Hill stresses that self-discipline begins in the mind. Replace negative thoughts, fear, anger, or doubt, with positive ones, using affirmations like, I am disciplined and focused. Third, control your emotions. Practice pausing before reacting, whether to criticism or temptation, to stay aligned with your goal. Fourth, budget your time and money. Create a schedule, like Elena's early mornings, and allocate resources wisely. Finally, build habits through repetition. Small, consistent actions, like running daily or studying an hour, compound into massive progress. Hill also emphasizes the role of willpower in self-discipline. He shares the example of an aspiring author who struggled to write consistently. By committing to 500 words daily, no matter the circumstances, she trained her willpower, completing a novel in a year. Hill ties this to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. Discipline, he says, reprograms your subconscious, making success automatic. For Elena, her morning routine became second nature, freeing mental energy for her studio's growth. Another inspiring example is J.K. Rowling, whose self-discipline birthed the Harry Potter series. In the early 1990s, Rowling, a single mother on welfare, faced rejection and hardship but held a clear purpose: to write a novel. She disciplined herself to write daily, often in cafes while her daughter napped, resisting despair and distractions. She budgeted her limited resources, prioritizing paper and pens over non-essentials, and controlled her emotions, pushing through self-doubt after publisher rejections. Her disciplined persistence led to Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone in 1997, launching a global phenomenon. Rowling's story shows how self-discipline sustains creativity and triumphs over adversity. Hill warns of self-discipline's enemies: laziness, impulsiveness, and negative influences. He tells of a businessman who squandered opportunities by indulging in distractions, like excessive socializing, instead of focusing on his goals. Hill's antidote is to surround yourself with a mastermind group that reinforces discipline. For Elena, her mastermind, fellow yoga students, and a mentor, kept her accountable, offering encouragement when temptation arose. Hill also advises practicing delayed gratification, choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, a habit that aligns with the law of compensation. Self-discipline synergizes with the mastermind principle, as disciplined individuals inspire their group. Hill believes that your commitment to discipline attracts allies who share your focus. Consider Malik, a high school teacher in 2021 who wanted to launch an after-school coding club. He disciplined himself to learn coding basics, study grant writing, and plan lessons, despite a demanding job. His mastermind, a tech-savvy colleague, a parent volunteer, and a local coder, supported his efforts, helping secure funding. When fatigue threatened his resolve, Malik's disciplined habits kept him on track. By 2023, his club, Code Future, was empowering dozens of students, showing how self-discipline fuels collective impact. Hill connects self-discipline to personal freedom, arguing that mastering yourself liberates you from external limitations. This principle applies universally to careers, health, relationships, or personal growth, making it a cornerstone of riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. He encourages readers to see discipline not as restriction but as empowerment, the key to living intentionally. Principle number 7. The seventh principle, controlled attention, is the art of directing your mental energy toward your definite purpose while ignoring irrelevant thoughts, distractions, or setbacks. Hill describes it as the ability to concentrate on one task or goal with unwavering intensity, shutting out noise and doubt. In an era of constant interruptions, this principle is more vital than ever. Hill's studies of visionaries like Thomas Edison and Andrew Carnegie showed that their achievements stemmed from a disciplined focus, enabling them to solve problems and seize opportunities others missed. Controlled attention builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, and self-discipline. A clear goal provides the target, a supportive group amplifies effort, faith sustains belief, extra effort distinguishes you, initiative sparks action, and discipline ensures consistency. But controlled attention channels these into a single, powerful beam. Hill likens it to a magnifying glass, focusing sunlight to ignite a flame. Concentration transforms potential into results. By mastering your focus, you align with the universal law of attraction, drawing resources and solutions toward your goal. Hill illustrates controlled attention with the story of an inventor who spent years perfecting a new device. Surrounded by skeptics who called his idea impractical, he refused to waver, dedicating hours each day to his work. He tuned out criticism, avoided distractions, and visualized his invention's success. His focused effort led to a breakthrough, a device that revolutionized his industry. This story shows that controlled attention shields your purpose from external noise, allowing persistence and creativity to flourish. Let's consider a modern example. Amina, a freelance writer in 2021, dreamed of publishing a novel but struggled with distractions like social media and a demanding day job. Inspired by Hill's teachings, she embraced controlled attention. She defined her purpose: to complete her manuscript by 2022, and set aside 2 hours each evening for writing, turning off her phone and internet. Amina visualized her book on shelves and used affirmations to stay focused. "My novel is complete, and readers love it." When doubts or fatigue arose, she redirected her mind to her goal. By 2022, she finished her manuscript, secured a publishing deal, and launched her debut novel, proving that controlled attention turns vision into reality. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate controlled attention. First, clarify your definite purpose as it anchors your focus. Write your goal, such as, "I will start a catering business by April 2026. Second, create a distraction-free environment. Hill advises setting specific times and spaces for focused work, like Amina's evening writing sessions. Third, practice visualization. Picture your goal as achieved, engaging all senses to make it vivid. This strengthens your mental focus. Fourth, use autosuggestion. Repeat affirmations like, "I am focused and productive," to reprogram your subconscious. Finally, train your mind through daily practice, such as meditation or journaling, to improve concentration over time. Hill also emphasizes the power of selective focus, choosing what to ignore. He shares the example of a businesswoman who faced a failing company due to market shifts. Instead of dwelling on losses, she focused on a new product line, dedicating her attention to research and marketing. By ignoring naysayers and irrelevant trends, she turned her company around, doubling profits. This story underscores that controlled attention is about prioritizing what serves your purpose and letting go of what doesn't. Another inspiring example is Elon Musk, whose controlled attention has driven groundbreaking ventures like Tesla and SpaceX. In the early 2000s, Musk set a bold purpose: to make space travel affordable and sustainable. Facing immense technical and financial challenges, he focused intensely on SpaceX's mission, working long hours and studying rocket science himself. He ignored critics who called his goals unrealistic, directing his team's energy toward reusable rockets. This focus led to the Falcon 9's success, revolutionizing the space industry by 2015. Musk's story shows how controlled attention sustains ambitious visions, turning the impossible into reality. Hill warns of focus's enemies: distractions, multitasking, and negative thoughts. He tells of an aspiring musician who scattered his attention across multiple projects, never mastering any. After embracing controlled attention, he dedicated himself to one instrument, practicing daily and ignoring side pursuits. Within a year, he landed a record deal. Hill's antidote is to simplify, focus on one goal at a time. For Amina, this meant prioritizing her novel over freelance gigs. Hill also advises protecting your mental space, limiting exposure to media or people that dilute your focus. Controlled attention synergizes with the mastermind principle, as a focused individual inspires their group. Hill believes that your clarity attracts allies who share your intensity. Consider Raj, a community organizer in 2022 who wanted to launch a youth mentorship program. He practiced controlled attention, dedicating mornings to planning and evenings to outreach, ignoring unrelated commitments. His mastermind, a teacher, a fundraiser, and a youth advocate, aligned with his focus, streamlining efforts to secure grants and volunteers. By 2024, Raj's program, Youth Lift, was transforming lives, showing how focused effort galvanizes collective impact. Hill ties controlled attention to the subconscious mind, which he sees as a gateway to infinite intelligence, the universal source of insight. By concentrating on your purpose, you tap into this reservoir, receiving intuitive solutions. He encourages readers to see focus as a muscle, strengthened through practice, that unlocks creativity and resilience across all areas, career, health, or relationships, making it a universal key to riches. Principle number 8. The eighth principle, enthusiasm, is the emotional fuel that propels these principles into action. Hill defines enthusiasm as a state of mind that combines passion, belief, and energy, radiating outward to influence others and attract opportunities. It's not just excitement, but a sustained, infectious zeal for your definite purpose. Hill's studies of leaders like Andrew Carnegie and Henry Ford showed that their success was driven by an enthusiastic spirit that inspired teams, won allies, and overcame obstacles. Enthusiasm builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, and controlled attention. A clear goal gives direction, a supportive group amplifies effort, faith sustains belief, extra effort distinguishes you, initiative sparks action, discipline ensures consistency, and focus sharpens effort, but enthusiasm infuses these with life. Hill likens it to a fire that warms everyone around it, creating a magnetic pull that aligns people and resources with your vision. In a world often marked by apathy, enthusiasm is a rare and powerful force. Hill illustrates enthusiasm with the story of a public speaker who lacked polished skills but captivated audiences with genuine passion. His talks on community improvement weren't eloquent, but his fervor for change, eyes alight, voice brimming with conviction, moved listeners to action. His enthusiasm attracted partnerships with local leaders, leading to funded projects that transformed his town. This story shows that enthusiasm, even without technical mastery, can inspire and open doors, proving its power to connect and persuade. Let's consider a modern example. Sophia, a small-town baker in 2020, dreamed of turning her home-based cupcake business into a storefront. Facing stiff competition, she leaned on enthusiasm to stand out. Sophia poured her love for baking into every interaction, greeting customers with a warm smile, sharing stories behind her recipes, and hosting free tasting events with infectious excitement. Her passion drew crowds, and her enthusiastic social media posts, filled with vibrant photos and heartfelt captions, went viral locally. By 2022, her bakery, Joy Cakes, was a community staple, funded partly by loyal customers who invested in her vision. Sophia's story shows how enthusiasm transforms a modest start into a thriving success. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate enthusiasm. First, align your work with your definite purpose, as passion flows from pursuing what you love. Write your goal, such as, I will launch a fitness coaching business by June 2026. Second, fuel enthusiasm with knowledge. Study your field to build confidence, like Sophia learning new baking techniques. Third, practice autosuggestion. Affirm daily, I am enthusiastic and inspire others, to program your subconscious. Fourth, express enthusiasm physically. Smile, use expressive gestures, and speak with energy, as these reinforce your inner state. Finally, surround yourself with enthusiastic people, like a mastermind group, to amplify your zeal. Hill also emphasizes that enthusiasm is contagious, influencing others to support your goals. He shares the example of a salesperson who struggled until she adopted an enthusiastic approach. By genuinely celebrating her product's benefits and engaging clients with warmth, she doubled her sales, earning promotions. Hill ties this to the law of attraction. Enthusiasm attracts like-minded allies and opportunities, creating a cycle of success. For Sophia, her passion inspired her mastermind, a local marketer and a supplier, to promote her bakery, boosting its growth. Another inspiring example is Tony Robbins, the renowned motivational speaker. In the 1980s, Robbins, a young man with no formal credentials, built a career on enthusiasm. His purpose was clear: to empower people through personal development. His high-energy seminars, delivered with booming voice and boundless passion, captivated audiences, even when his methods were unpolished. Robbins's enthusiasm for transformation drew thousands, from everyday individuals to celebrities, and attracted mentors who helped him scale his brand. By the 1990s, he was a global icon, showing how enthusiasm, paired with purpose, creates massive impact. Hill warns of enthusiasm's pitfalls. Without self-discipline or focus, it can become scattered or insincere. He tells of an entrepreneur whose overzealous pitches alienated clients because they lacked substance. Hill's antidote is to ground enthusiasm in authenticity and knowledge, ensuring it serves your purpose. For Sophia, this meant pairing her excitement with quality cupcakes. For Robbins, it was studying psychology to back his passion. Hill also advises managing energy to avoid burnout, using controlled attention to channel enthusiasm effectively. Enthusiasm synergizes with the mastermind principle, as passionate individuals inspire their group. Hill believes that your zeal motivates allies to contribute their best. Consider Jamal, a social worker in 2022, who wanted to start a youth art program. His enthusiasm, evident in his animated pitches and tireless planning, galvanized his mastermind, including an artist, a grant writer, and a community leader. When funding stalled, Jamal's passion kept the group motivated, leading to a successful crowdfunding campaign. By 2024, his program, ArtSpark, was empowering hundreds, showing how enthusiasm fuels collective success. Hill connects enthusiasm to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. By making enthusiasm a daily practice, you rewire your mind for positivity, attracting opportunities like a beacon. This principle applies universally to business, art, education, or relationships, making it a key to riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. Hill encourages readers to see enthusiasm as a choice, a spark you can ignite regardless of circumstances. Principle number 9. The ninth principle, creative vision, is the faculty of seeing beyond current circumstances to envision what could be. Hill defines it as the disciplined use of imagination to create mental pictures of your definite purpose, coupled with the belief that these visions can become reality. Unlike idle daydreaming, creative vision is purposeful, blending imagination with planning and action. Hill's studies of pioneers like Thomas Edison and Henry Ford revealed that their achievements began as vivid images in their minds, guiding them through challenges to greatness. Creative vision builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, controlled attention, and enthusiasm. A clear goal sets the stage. A supportive group amplifies effort. Faith sustains belief. Extra effort distinguishes you. Initiative sparks action. Discipline ensures consistency. Focus sharpens effort. And enthusiasm fuels passion. But creative vision provides the roadmap. Hill likens it to an architect's blueprint, shaping raw ideas into tangible outcomes. By envisioning success, you tap into the universal law of attraction, drawing resources and opportunities to your goal. Hill illustrates creative vision with the story of a young entrepreneur who started with a single small shop but dreamed of a national chain. Each night, he visualized bustling stores across the country, imagining their layouts, customer smiles, and vibrant signage. This mental picture guided his decisions, saving profits, studying markets, and hiring key staff. Despite setbacks like economic downturns, his creative vision kept him focused, leading to a chain of stores that became a household name. This story shows that creative vision transforms modest beginnings into monumental success through disciplined imagination. Let's consider a modern example. Tara, a graphic designer in 2021, wanted to create an app for artists to share portfolios. With no coding experience, her goals seemed far-fetched, but she embraced creative vision. Tara vividly imagined her app's interface, sleek, user-friendly, and vibrant, picturing artists connecting globally. She sketched mock-ups and visualized the app trending on stores. This vision drove her to learn coding basics, form a mastermind with a developer and a marketer, and pitch to investors. Despite early rejections, her clear mental image kept her motivated. By 2023, her app, Art Connect, launched successfully, proving that creative vision turns bold ideas into reality. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate creative vision. First, clarify your definite purpose as it anchors your imagination. Write your goal, such as, I will open a community theater by September 2026. Second, practice visualization. Spend a few minutes daily picturing your goal as achieved, engaging all senses. See the theater's stage, hear the applause, feel the excitement. Third, use autosuggestion. Affirm, my vision is clear, and I create my future, to reinforce belief. Fourth, translate your vision into a plan. Break it into steps, like Tara's coding lessons or investor pitches. Finally, act on your vision daily, using personal initiative to move forward, even with small steps. Hill also emphasizes the role of curiosity in creative vision. He shares the example of an inventor who, fascinated by everyday problems, envisioned a new kitchen gadget. His curiosity fueled research, sketches, and prototypes, leading to a patented product that sold millions. Hill ties this to infinite intelligence, the universal source of ideas, accessed through imaginative focus. For Tara, curiosity about app design led to online tutorials, sparking ideas that shaped Art Connect. Hill encourages readers to ask what-if questions, fostering the creativity that drives innovation. Another inspiring example is Walt Disney, whose creative vision birthed an entertainment empire. In the 1920s, Disney, a struggling animator, envisioned a world where animated characters brought joy to millions. He pictured Mickey Mouse, theme parks, and feature films long before they existed. Facing bankruptcies and skepticism, Disney's vivid mental images, down to park layouts and character voices, guided his decisions. He formed a mastermind with artists and engineers, turning his vision into Disneyland by 1955 and films like Snow White. Disney's story shows how creative vision, paired with persistence, creates legacies that transform industries. Hill warns of vision's enemies: doubt, conformity, and lack of focus. He tells of a painter who dreamed of a unique art style but abandoned it, fearing criticism. After embracing creative vision, she imagined bold canvases, ignored naysayers, and gained acclaim. Hill's antidote is to protect your imagination, using controlled attention to block distractions. For Tara, this meant ignoring doubts about her coding skills and focusing on her app's potential. Hill also advises nurturing vision through learning, as knowledge fuels imaginative solutions. Creative vision synergizes with the mastermind principle, as a vivid imagination inspires your group. Hill believes that sharing your vision galvanizes allies to contribute ideas and effort. Consider Maya, a teacher in 2022, who envisioned a free STEM camp for underserved kids. She pictured labs buzzing with experiments and kids beaming with discovery. Her mastermind, a scientist, a fundraiser, and a volunteer coordinator, caught her enthusiasm, helping design curricula and secure grants. When logistics faltered, Maya's clear vision kept the team aligned. By 2024, her camp, STEM Stars, was thriving, showing how creative vision fuels collective impact. Hill connects creative vision to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. By practicing visualization daily, you rewire your mind to see possibilities, making success inevitable. This principle applies universally to business, art, education, or personal growth, making it a key to riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. Hill encourages readers to dream big, trusting that imagination, disciplined by action, creates reality. Principle number 10. The 10th principle, accurate thinking, is the discipline of analyzing facts, questioning assumptions, and making decisions based on evidence rather than emotions or biases. Hill defines it as the ability to separate truth from opinion, to think critically, and to align choices with your definite purpose. In a world filled with misinformation and snap judgments, accurate thinking is a superpower. Hill's studies of leaders like Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison showed that their success hinged on clear, rational decision-making, avoiding costly mistakes. Accurate thinking builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, controlled attention, enthusiasm, and creative vision. A clear goal sets the direction. A supportive group amplifies effort. Faith sustains belief. Extra effort distinguishes you. Initiative sparks action. Discipline ensures consistency. Focus sharpens effort. Enthusiasm fuels passion, and vision inspires innovation. But accurate thinking keeps these grounded in reality. Hill likens it to a pilot's navigation system, ensuring you stay on course despite storms of doubt or distraction. Hill illustrates accurate thinking with the story of a businessman who faced a critical investment decision during an economic boom. Tempted by hype and peer pressure, he nearly poured his savings into a risky venture. Instead, he practiced accurate thinking, researching market trends, verifying the company's financials, and consulting his mastermind. His analysis revealed hidden risks, so he declined the investment, avoiding bankruptcy when the venture collapsed. His disciplined reasoning led to safer, profitable opportunities, proving that accurate thinking protects and propels success. Let's consider a modern example. Priya, a marketing consultant in 2022, wanted to launch an online course on digital branding. Excited by success stories, she nearly rushed into production, swayed by emotion. Inspired by Hill's teachings, she paused to apply accurate thinking. Priya surveyed her audience to confirm demand, analyzed competitors' courses, and calculated costs versus revenue. Her research showed a niche for affordable, practical courses, so she tailored her content accordingly. When a trendy platform promised quick profits but lacked credibility, she vetted it and chose a reliable alternative. By 2023, her course, Brand Easy, was a hit, earning steady income, showing how accurate thinking turns enthusiasm into sustainable success. Hill provides practical steps to cultivate accurate thinking. First, clarify your definite purpose to anchor your decisions. Write your goal, such as, I will open a bakery by July 2026. Second, separate facts from opinions. Facts are verifiable, like market data. Opinions are subjective, like a friend's hunch. Third, verify sources. Cross-check information, as Priya did with platforms, to ensure reliability. Fourth, ask critical questions. What's the evidence? What are the risks? What's the source's motive? Fifth, consult your mastermind for diverse perspectives, but weigh their input against facts. Finally, act decisively once your analysis is complete, using personal initiative to move forward. Hill also emphasizes emotional control and accurate thinking. He shares the example of a manager who nearly fired a top employee based on gossip. By pausing to investigate, gathering performance data, and speaking to the employee, she uncovered the truth, retaining a valuable team member. Hill ties this to self-discipline, noting that emotions like anger or fear cloud judgment. For Priya, staying calm during platform research prevented a costly mistake. Hill advises practicing a mental pause, count to 10, or sleep on big decisions to ensure reason prevails. Another inspiring example is Warren Buffett, the legendary investor. Buffett's success stems from accurate thinking, rooted in rigorous analysis. In the 1980s, when markets chased trendy stocks, Buffett stayed focused on his purpose, long-term wealth creation. He meticulously studied companies' financials, ignoring hype, and invested in undervalued firms like Coca-Cola. His fact-based approach, honed through decades of reading reports and consulting his mastermind, including Charlie Munger, led to billions in returns. Buffett's story shows how accurate thinking, applied consistently, builds empires by grounding vision in reality. Hill warns of accurate thinking's enemies: biases, assumptions, and misinformation. He tells of an entrepreneur who lost a fortune by assuming a product would sell without market research. After adopting accurate thinking, she tested her next idea with surveys, leading to a successful launch. Hill's antidote is to challenge your beliefs, seek opposing views, and prioritize evidence. For Priya, this meant questioning her initial course idea and adapting based on data. Hill also advises limiting exposure to unreliable sources, like unverified media, to protect mental clarity. Accurate thinking synergizes with the mastermind principle, as critical thinkers strengthen their group's decisions. Hill believes that a fact-based approach inspires trust and collaboration. Consider Omar, a nonprofit founder in 2022, who aimed to build a community garden. Tempted to accept a large donation with strings attached, he used accurate thinking, researching the donor's history and consulting his mastermind, a lawyer, a gardener, and a community leader. Their analysis revealed potential conflicts, so Omar declined, securing smaller, ethical grants instead. By 2024, his garden, Green Unity, was thriving, showing how accurate thinking fuels collective impact. Hill connects accurate thinking to cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. By practicing critical analysis daily, you rewire your mind for clarity, making sound decisions automatic. This principle applies universally to business, health, relationships, or personal growth, making it a key to riches, whether financial, emotional, or spiritual. Hill encourages readers to see accurate thinking as empowerment, enabling you to navigate life with confidence and precision. Principle number 11. The 11th principle, learning from adversity, is the art of extracting lessons from setbacks, failures, and hardships, using them to refine your path to your definite purpose. Hill teaches that every adversity carries the seed of an equivalent advantage, waiting to be discovered through a positive mental attitude. His studies of resilient figures like Thomas Edison and Andrew Carnegie showed that their triumphs stemmed from viewing obstacles not as dead ends, but as opportunities to learn, adapt, and grow. Learning from adversity builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, controlled attention, enthusiasm, creative vision, and accurate thinking. A clear goal provides direction. A supportive group amplifies effort. Faith sustains belief. Extra effort distinguishes you. Initiative sparks action. Discipline ensures consistency. Focus sharpens effort. Enthusiasm fuels passion. Vision inspires innovation. And clear thinking grounds decisions. But learning from adversity strengthens resilience. Hill likens it to a forge, where challenges temper your character, making you unbreakable in pursuit of riches. Hill illustrates this principle with the story of a man whose business was destroyed by a fire. Devastated, he could have given up, but he chose to learn from the adversity. Analyzing the loss, he realized his business model relied too heavily on one location. He used insurance funds to rebuild, diversifying into multiple smaller outlets and improving inventory systems. His new approach not only recovered his losses but doubled his profits, proving that adversity, when studied, reveals paths to greater success. Let's consider a modern example. Jamal, a software developer in 2021, dreamed of launching a fitness app but faced a crushing setback when his initial prototype failed user testing, costing months of work and savings. Inspired by Hill's teachings, Jamal embraced adversity as a teacher. He analyzed feedback, identifying flaws in usability and design, and consulted his mastermind, a UX designer and a fitness coach, for insights. Rather than despair, he applied creative vision to reimagine the app with gamified features. By 2023, his revamped app, FitQuest, gained thousands of users, showing how learning from adversity turns failure into triumph. Hill provides practical steps to learn from adversity. First, adopt a positive mental attitude, viewing setbacks as temporary and instructive. Affirm, every challenge holds a lesson for my growth. Second, analyze the adversity objectively. Ask what went wrong. What can I learn? What's the opportunity? Jamal's user feedback analysis exemplifies this. Third, use accurate thinking to separate facts from emotions, ensuring your lessons are grounded in truth. Fourth, act on the lessons with personal initiative, making changes to your plan or approach. Finally, share insights with your mastermind, as their perspectives can uncover hidden advantages and reinforce your resilience. Hill also emphasizes the role of persistence in this principle. He shares the example of a writer whose manuscript was rejected by dozens of publishers. Instead of quitting, she studied the rejections, identifying weaknesses in pacing and character development. She revised her work, applied self-discipline to write daily, and submitted again. Her persistence paid off with a best-selling novel. Hill ties this to applied faith, noting that believing in the seed of advantage sustains effort through setbacks. For Jamal, faith in his app's potential kept him coding despite early failure. Principle number 12. The 12th principle, the golden rule, is the moral and practical cornerstone that ties all principles together. Hill defines it as doing unto others as you would have them do unto you, acting with honesty, fairness, and respect in all interactions. Far from a mere ethical ideal, the golden rule is a strategic approach to success, building trust and goodwill that amplify your efforts. Hill's studies of leaders like Andrew Carnegie revealed that their enduring success stemmed from treating others with integrity, creating networks of loyalty and support. The golden rule builds on the previous principles: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, controlled attention, enthusiasm, creative vision, accurate thinking, and learning from adversity. A clear goal provides direction. A supportive group amplifies effort. Faith sustains belief. Extra effort distinguishes you. Initiative sparks action. Discipline ensures consistency. Focus sharpens effort. Enthusiasm fuels passion. Vision inspires innovation. Clear thinking grounds decisions. And resilience turns setbacks into growth. But the golden rule ensures these efforts align with universal harmony. Hill likens it to a boomerang. What you give returns multiplied, shaping your riches in wealth, relationships, and peace. Hill illustrates the golden rule with the story of a merchant who prioritized honesty in his small store. When a customer was overcharged by mistake, he personally refunded the difference and offered a discount, even at a loss. His commitment to fairness earned fierce customer loyalty, and word of mouth grew his business into a regional chain. This story shows that the golden rule isn't just right. It's smart, creating a ripple effect of trust that fuels success. Let's consider a modern example. Anita, a coffee shop owner in 2021, faced a struggling business during economic uncertainty. Inspired by Hill's teachings, she embraced the golden rule. Anita treated her staff with respect, offering flexible hours and fair wages despite tight margins. She engaged customers with kindness, memorizing their names and offering free coffee to those in need. When a supplier overcharged her, she resolved the issue calmly, maintaining a positive relationship. Her integrity inspired loyalty. Employees worked harder, customers tipped generously, and the supplier offered discounts. By 2023, Anita's shop, Heartbrew, thrived as a community hub, proving that the golden rule builds prosperity through goodwill. Hill provides practical steps to apply the golden rule. First, align your actions with your definite purpose, ensuring they reflect fairness. Write your goal, such as, I will grow my consulting firm by December 2026, and commit to ethical practices. Second, practice empathy. Before acting, ask, how would I feel in their shoes? Anita's care for customers stemmed from this. Third, act with honesty, even when it's costly, as trust pays long-term dividends. Fourth, resolve conflicts with respect, using accurate thinking to find win-win solutions. Finally, make the golden rule a habit, integrating it into daily interactions with colleagues, clients, or strangers, reinforcing cosmic habit force, the universal law that habits shape outcomes. Hill also emphasizes the law of compensation, where kindness and fairness return multiplied. He shares the example of a factory worker who helped a struggling coworker, sharing tips to improve productivity. His generosity led to a promotion when the coworker, now a supervisor, recommended him. For Anita, her kindness to staff created a loyal team that attracted customers. Hill ties this to the mastermind, noting that ethical behavior strengthens group harmony, amplifying collective success. Another inspiring example is Patagonia's founder, Yvon Chouinard. In the 1970s, Chouinard built an outdoor gear company rooted in the golden rule. He treated employees with respect, offering flexible schedules and environmental volunteer time. He ensured suppliers used sustainable practices, paying fair prices, and prioritized customers by offering repair services over replacements. When competitors criticized his focus on sustainability over profits, he stayed true to his values. Patagonia's ethical approach built a loyal customer base and global influence, making it a billion-dollar brand by the 2010s. Chenard's story shows how the golden rule creates success that endures. Hill warns of the golden rule's opposites: deceit, selfishness, and exploitation. He tells of a businessman who cut corners to save money, only to lose customers and face lawsuits. After adopting the golden rule, he rebuilt his reputation through transparency, regaining trust. Hill's antidote is to act with integrity, even under pressure, using self-discipline to resist shortcuts. For Anita, this meant paying fair wages despite financial strain, a choice that paid off. Hill also advises surrounding yourself with a mastermind that shares your values, reinforcing ethical behavior. The golden rule synergizes with the mastermind principle, as fairness fosters trust within your group. Hill believes that ethical actions inspire allies to reciprocate, creating a network of support. Consider Rajesh, a nonprofit organizer in 2022 who wanted to fund a literacy program. He treated donors, volunteers, and staff with respect, transparently sharing budgets and listening to feedback. His mastermind, a teacher, a fundraiser, and a community leader, responded with dedication, securing grants and volunteers. When a donor hesitated, Rajesh's honest approach won their trust. By 2024, his program, ReadRise, was transforming lives, showing how the golden rule fuels collective impact. Hill connects the golden rule to spiritual and emotional riches, arguing that true success includes peace of mind. By acting with kindness, you align with universal harmony, reducing stress and attracting positive outcomes. This principle applies universally to business, relationships, or personal growth, making it the ultimate key to a rich life. Hill encourages readers to see the golden rule as a gift, enriching both giver and receiver. In conclusion, the master key to riches is a blueprint for a life of purpose and abundance. Napoleon Hill's 12 steps: definiteness of purpose, the mastermind, applied faith, going the extra mile, personal initiative, self-discipline, controlled attention, enthusiasm, creative vision, accurate thinking, learning from adversity, and the golden rule form a comprehensive system for success. The book is both timeless and timely, offering wisdom that resonates in today's fast-paced world. Hill's stories of real people who overcame obstacles to achieve greatness inspire us to believe in our own potential. As you finish this summary, ask yourself, what is my definite purpose? What steps can I take today to unlock my own riches? Hill's message is clear. The master key lies within you, waiting to be turned. Take action, stay persistent, and let the principles of this book guide you to a life of fulfillment and success. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Master Key to Riches by Napoleon Hill. May you find your own master key and unlock the riches you seek. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in the power of your dreams.